Chelsea won, Manchester United 0, and that means that Manchester United have, yes, gone a full season without back-to-back wins. A full season in the Premier League where we've not won 2 games in a row. I don't care that we've had injuries. I don't care that Amorim is a new manager. I don't care that Onana and Hojlund start week in, week out. That is still an absolute disgrace. No win in the Premier League in 2 months. Did I expect us to beat Chelsea? No. Did I think the performance versus Chelsea for the first 70 minutes was good? Yes. And as soon as we made the subs, we were bad? Yes. I thought actually the first 60, 70 minutes, we were the better side. Do I think that some of the losses and draws we've had this season, had we had a better striker and goalkeeper, we could have turned them into wins? Yes. Do I believe with the right signings, Amorim will succeed? Yes. But I don't care that the focus is on Europa. If we don't win Europa, we're going to be looking at these last 9 Premier League games that we haven't won, which we're saying are meaningless anyway, and saying, well, imagine if we'd won 6 of those 9 games, at least we'd have finished, 10th? And finishing 10th compared to 16th, at least it's not as embarrassing. It's the fact that we've gone 2 months without winning the Premier League. I don't care if it's irrelevant. I don't care if the result is irrelevant. I wanted to stop Chelsea getting Champions League football, because if Chelsea don't get Champions League football next season, they cannot do as much in the transfer window. And if Chelsea do get Champions League football next season, they are a threat in the transfer window to us. Okay? That's what I'm going to say. I'd like Villa to get UCL football and not Chelsea, so they can buy Rashford, and Chelsea will not get their hand on top players before us in the window. So I am very annoyed that we've lost, but my focus is fully on Wednesday. But winning the Europa League does not cover up the fact that this has been a disgraceful season, and we need to have a serious conversation about Rasmus Hojlund. We seriously do, because I cannot defend the guy. I don't want to be harsh. I don't want to be mean, but he should not play for us again this season. And people might call that reactionary. Alice, he's been better in Europe. That performance versus Chelsea was a 0 out of 10 performance. Tell me one thing good he did versus Chelsea. I have defended Rasmus Hojlund. I have said I feel sorry for the kid. I have said the kid is so far out of his depth and it's not completely his fault, which is true. But you cannot defend these performances. You cannot convince me that B and Sheary would not do more in that game. Kobbie Mainoo, I would start him at striker in the Europa League final. I do not care. I know Hojlund's been good in Europe. I defended Hojlund because his first season, he was really good. He got 16 goals. He showed promise. The Bayern Munich game, the Champions League games. I saw so much from Hojlund in his first season, which is why I'm so disappointed this season, because I really believed. But you cannot defend him when he's not even being pressed and his touch is so bad he's giving the ball away. When he's given the ball away, he's tossing, made him look like an idiot. Tossing and bullied him, but he was so far out of his depth. So let's get into my PowerPoint. Let's get into my notes. Let's have a conversation about this Manchester United-Chelsea game and what we learned. I just checked Hojlund's stats, and you might not believe me. Hojlund completed 11 passes all game, 61% pass accuracy. Hojlund gave the ball away, lost possession 13 times. Hojlund lost possession more times than he completed passes versus Chelsea. I feel sorry for him. I want him to score the win in Europa League. I will be so happy for him. But Hojlund lost possession more times than he completed passes versus Chelsea tonight. I hope he backs the win in the UAL final, because this is inexcusable. I cannot defend him. I want to defend him, but I physically cannot. I'm just going to say that. But anyway, let's get into my notes on the game. First half was actually decent. Rare for a change, we don't start awfully. We didn't start awfully. Chelsea fans, I could see them all over the timeline going, what is this performance? Chelsea fans were fuming the first 60 minutes. Chelsea fans were disgraced by their side the first 60 minutes. They hadn't showed up. Bar Moises Caicedo, bar Cucurella, Chelsea had not showed up in those first 60 minutes. Chelsea fans were livid, because Man United were the better side, and Maguire scored a good goal, which was offside by a millimetre, which is annoying. And United, for the first 60 minutes, were the better side. They controlled the game. And all of a sudden, Man United look all right, but there's nothing up top. We look all right with the better side, but there's nothing up top. There's no real chances. And all of a sudden, we concede a dumb goal, back post. And I'm going to say Brennan Johnson will be a problem, because we concede a lot of back post goals, and he's the back post tapping merchant. The game was tight, and it was decided by margins. And margins matter. When you don't have a good goalkeeper and you don't have a good striker, and games are defined by tight margins like that, you're not going to win. And that has been the problem this season. We do not have the best goalkeeper. We do not have the best striker. There's midfield issues. There's other issues. But they are the main 2 issues that Manchester United are struggling in when games are tight margins. Now, it was a dive by Tyreek George, but Onana was so mistake-prone. There's always a mistake in him. When he gets the ball, when he gives it into the danger zone, it's so frustrating. I thought the first 40 minutes, Onana was fine, but then he's shaky. We've got to have a conversation about Rasmus Hojlund. Invisible for 90 minutes. Invisible. It felt like playing with 10 men. He can't hold up the ball. He can't pass. He can't use his body properly. it was so poor because he was shocking versus Chelsea. His performance versus Chelsea is probably his worst performance all season. It was so bad how he was being bullied. And I feel sorry for Hojlund. He gets no service. He's got no confidence. It is tough for Hojlund. He looks out of it. He needs a loan or a sale. I don't think we're going to be able to sell him. He needs a loan for his own good. I still believe that Hojlund could become a top striker, but not at Manchester United. He needs the season away from Manchester United if he's going to unlock that potential. Because I've never seen somebody look so afraid on the ball. When he gets the ball, wasn't even being pressed, he gave it away in those last 10 minutes. Xerxes a huge miss. It will be a major miss for the final. It's Maino at false 9 for me. Play Maino at top for the final. He cannot play for us. I wish Hojlund the best. I feel sorry for him. He was very good in his first season. He got 16 goals. I still actually and genuinely believe that Hojlund will be a good player. And I think it would be completely idiotic to write off Hojlund because of this season. I think he could bounce back. Confidence is big for a striker. He's still young. I fully believe that. But I think what he needs is what Anthony needs, and it's to get away from Manchester United. I think Hojlund, he gets away from Manchester United, he gets service, he gets his confidence up, will score goals, and I want that for him because it is not his fault that he's been thrown into a side with no service. It's not his fault he's completely lost the confidence, and it's not his fault that he's leading the line for the worst Manchester United squad in history, and we spent 72 million on him. But he needs to do better. Even when he wasn't scoring last season, his hold up was better, his passing was better. Every time he gets the ball, he can't even use his body. It's like boo. Every time we have the ball, he's making the wrong run. Cheeto hasn't really done loads when he's played in the cameos, but Cheeto, his movement has created more chance of himself than Hojlund all season. For me, Xerxes is going to be a huge miss for the final because our lack of striker is costing us points week in, week out. And I feel for Rasmus Hojlund. But today, he completed 11 passes. He won 0 out of 6 ground duels. He won 1 out of 4 aerial duels. He won 1 out of 10 duels today. He lost possession 13 times. He committed 2 fouls and he completed 11 passes. That, like, he doesn't have a positive stat. 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 shots on target, 0 shots off target, 0 shots blocked, 0 dribbles attempted, 0 key passes, 0 crosses, 0 long balls, 0 ground duels won, 1 out of 4 aerial duels won, 13 times possession lost, 2 fouls, was not fouled once, 0 clearances, 0 block shots, 1 interception, 0 tackles, 0 times dribble pass. I don't have the words. It's just this. He's so out of his depth. He's so out of his depth. I feel bad because I don't want to be trolling him and I don't want to be going in on him because everybody's going in on him. I feel horrible. I feel mean because I've spent 5 minutes ranting about Hojlund. I've made a rant about him on TikTok. I've ranted about him on Twitter, and I feel mean because everybody's going on Hojlund, and it's not nice, and it's not nice on the kid. And I feel mean. I'm not gonna lie. I feel mean. I feel harsh. I feel that I shouldn't be going in on him like this, but I just can't defend it. I can't defend it. I really hope he scores the winner in a UEFA final. I really hope he does, but I am seriously concerned. I am seriously concerned. I want Xerxes back. I mean, guys, what do you think? Am I being mean? Am I being harsh? Yes, he gets no service. I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about Man United. Let's talk about the game because I've just been going on about Hojlund. My general thoughts on the game are this. Maguire defended well, was unlucky for offside goal. I thought Luke Shaw looked sharper. I thought Mazraoui was solid. I thought Ahmad had a good moment where he made a good ball to Mount, but I didn't think Ahmad had a good game. I don't think the attack was good at all today. Agate's looked off it lately. He came on and I think we got worse. Anana is a worrying. I would have liked to see Collier get minutes. Glad we saw Heaven get minutes. Defence did well, but attack was shocking. I think that's the way I'd describe it. The referee was a joke. Ahmad should have been booked, yes, but so why wasn't Tyreek George booked? 5 yellow cards to Chelsea's nil in the 80th minute. He finally gives a yellow card to Palmer in the last minute. But the amount of yellow cards we got was a joke. Absolute joke. The ref was a joke. 5 at the back and we still exposed at the back post is a joke. But you know what? I subbed Cucurella in my FPL. Is it bad that I'm like, well, at least Cucurella got me FPL points? At least I got something out of this. Do you know what I mean? Every sub I thought made us worse. The squad is not UCL ready. I only want to win the Europa League because 1, it's a trophy, and 2, the money we'll get for Champions League football. I think Manchester United would be better off not being in the Champions League next season because we'll get rinsed over and focusing on the league and putting all our energy in the league. I think it would be better for us, but we need to win the Champions League for the financial side, and I guess a trophy, you want to win a trophy. But I actually think if we don't win the Europa League, other than the financial element of it, it's not a bad thing. Other than losing to Spurs, which is embarrassing, it's not a bad thing. Until we sign top physical technical players, we're done. We need to sign those kind of players. In terms of positives, I thought the build-up was better in the first half. I thought we controlled the first half, but there's no forward threat. We dropped in intensity, and Chelsea weren't great. Why does it say Jackson Red aside? I've probably pasted my notes in from the last game, but they took the chance. Reece James was fantastic for that moment. I don't know why I said Jackson Red aside there. But it just reminds us how far off United are. I look at Man United and I've decided this is what we need in the summer. All right? I've decided this is what we need in the summer. Let me get this up here. I don't know if you can see that. This is what we need. Okay? We need a goalkeeper. Okay? We need a goalkeeper. I don't know. Joan Garcia or Lemens, they're going to be 20 million. We don't have more than 20 million to spend on a keeper. We need a midfielder. And I'm willing to spend, 80 million on Belieber. I think it's really important. We need one Acuna and Buemo, because realistically, Delap's going to be our striker, not Osimhen. And if we get Delap in, he's going to be better than Hojlund, but he's still going to have issues. So at least if you get Acuna and Buemo, one, they can play striker, and two, they're in their prime, they guarantee Premier League goals. And I'd look at bringing Aït-Nouri in, because Dorgu can play right wing back, and I still think Dorgu's not fully ready yet at left wing back. Aït-Nouri, Dorgu, and Dalot can rotate between the wing back positions. We're worried about centre back depth, but then Mazraoui can play centre back. If Dalot was fit, Mazraoui would be playing right centre back and we wouldn't be playing Lindelof against Tottenham in the final. So another wing back, I think, just improves centre back depth, because Mazraoui is better at right centre back, who was decent today. I think that's what we need. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching. Bye.